What is the most beautiful thing in this world? What would you say? For me, this involves a story. The story begins about 20 years ago, around the time of 9/11. I found myself in a little village in France called Thésée. There in Thésée is a community of Christian monks who welcome hundreds, even thousands of young people from all over the world every week of every year. They come for 7 days on retreat. I saw these young people singing together, praying together, eating, working together, sitting together in silence, listening to one another, sharing their lives, telling their stories, seeking God, searching for the sources of peace. For me, this was the most beautiful thing in the world. When I returned to the United States, I was changed, transformed by the beauty of the sung prayer and being with all those people. I felt deeply that something like this community needs to exist here in the United States. For here we need such a community that welcomes all people without regard for financial means. We need an ecumenical community that sings a beautiful sung prayer every day. We need a community that engages people with different religious and political perspectives in respectful dialogue. We need a community dedicated to peacemaking, to simplicity, and to all forms of social justice. We need a community of deep hospitality, of beauty, of thought, of feeling, of silence, of song, and solidarity with the most vulnerable in society. I felt I was being called to create a community, a place of welcome, a place of retreat like this here in the United States. And I knew I would pray and work for the rest of my life to fulfill this calling. 2 years ago, a friend told me about Sophia House, a lovely retreat center near Charlottesville, Virginia, on 270 acres of wooded and meadowed land, was about to come on the market. I spoke with the directors of Sophia House. Our meeting went very well. It felt spirit-led. We agreed we would work toward the fulfillment of this vision, a vision of a new community we would call Community of Peace. This June, a small group of friends and I will move to Louisa to begin our life together and to welcome people on retreat. We are very excited about creating this new community and place of retreat. Community of Peace is a place of deepening friendship, a place of deep listening, a place of affirmation and empowerment, especially of marginalized peoples. Community of Peace is a place of listening to and caring for the land, this lovely earth we all call home. Community of Peace is an ecumenical, Christ-centered community engaged in interfaith learning, dialogue, practice, and relationship. In a country so deeply divided, longing to be healed of past and present wounds, we believe Community of Peace is happening at just the right time. We are a small community in Louisa. We are also an extended family all across the country and around the world.
I believe to be part in this, giving me this kind of strength that I need and many people need, especially who lives in a hard situation as we live in Palestine. Situation is not easy, and to be able to motivate yourself, to recharge yourself with ideas, with spirituality, with love and peace and nonviolence is an essential part of a human being. That's why I feel I would love all the time to be part of this peace community.
This project is not only an American thing, but that people like me, that we are welcome there. And now the borders are closed because of the pandemic, but we feel like we Europeans feel that we have like a spiritual home there. understanding that he really wants to offer a transformative experience for people, that a new reality is possible.
The music, the silence, the storytelling, the questions that are posed, and then going off to reflect on the questions in small groups, the simplicity of life, all of it was so life-giving. I'm very, very happy anticipating something like that beginning here in the United States, and not too far from where I live.
The fact that this community of peace is basically based upon the Christian faith, but being open to others, I think is just incredible. So I'm just captivated and very enthusiastic about this call that Stefan is responding to.
Community of Peace, Louisa, for me, is a response to the calls for healing change in our world that are necessary at this time. It's the building of an open and welcoming community that embodies a justice-based peace and an unconditional love. And at the heart of the community is the universal language of music, sung together 3 times a day, a sharing in meals that we grow in communion with nature, and a dialogue that connects and liberates.
For me, contemplative practices are at the heart of change and growth. Taking time for reflection, silence, chant, music, and prayer. In today's climate of misinformation and hate, I think it's the perfect antidote. We need the courage to stand in the light and live another way that is just more just, more loving, and serves everyone. We need a beloved community, a community that welcomes everyone to the table. We need a community that lives in the present reality to become beacons of what is possible. And this we cannot do alone. We need a community. You know, as Micah says, to act justly and to love mercy and to walk humbly with your God. We need one another. And if we're going to live with one another, we have to learn to love and commit to justice. So I think that for me would be why we need a community of peace.
Creating a community based upon the idea of acceptance and inclusion and diversity and appreciation of that diversity. We need a place where everybody can come together and not just worship or have peace, you know, or speak and there will and peace will be maintained, but we also just need a community where everybody can feel accepted and not rejected, and not like they don't belong.
I think people are really called to live in community. I think it's what I'm called to do, and I really appreciate it. Then when you have a purpose like we have here of serving people and encouraging people and giving people an opportunity to come away from their busy, crazy lives in cities and towns and experience a natural, beautiful setting, that's just a real plus. So that's really what my mission in life is to encourage people, to help people lighten their load a little bit, make life a more pleasant, enjoyable experience for them, maximize what they can do in their potential. And so if I can do some of that along with living in a community, that's a wonderful opportunity, I would say.
You know, I can see from my own experience that this is all coming together and forming something really beautiful, partly because of Stefan, but partly because of all the rest of us that have joined our own faith, strong faith, and skills that we have, and just the desire to make it happen. It's like open arms. And I know with the people involved and seeing pictures of the property, we're going to be able to make those open arms right here in Virginia. That's going to happen. And it's so needed. It's so needed.
It can build a bridge that will help us help the society, help the global community to cross cultural or historical or even social or even religious differences. Anything that creates a kind of social tensions can be solved if there is dialogue, there is communication.
It provides the container so that we can have those conversations, because we've already been attuned to one another through our voices singing one song. We experience peace with one another for just a little snippet of time.
Akushala and the vision of this community is to communicate and transmit an experience of real universal spirituality through communal living and sacred sound. And that's what hits home the most for me.
Many churches have taught ideologies and opinions and postures that have harmed us in the larger context of humans trying to live peaceably together. And so I believe that the church has to be part of the reconciliation and the healing. And so bringing people of faith together, not necessarily even the Christian faith, but people bringing them together for civil and meaningful conversation, as well as just the experiment of living together and being okay. But then taking that experiment, if you will, for that individual person and taking it home and saying, hey, we have other ways that we can live together. Let me tell you what I learned at the Community of Peace in Louisa.
I invite you to join us to become part of the story, embrace and share this vision. Please donate what you can to our GoFundMe and share this link with your friends. All donations are tax deductible, and all donations go directly to the down payment and the much needed renovations on our new home. Your donations will also help us to open our doors this summer to welcome others on retreat. So join us. Join us in creating something good, something beautiful, something that will help to heal our nation's wounds and transform our society. Something that will care for this lovely and fragile planet. Together, we can and will make a difference. So thank you for your donations. Thank you for your prayers. Thank you for becoming a part of this beloved community of peace.